Hello, everybody. Good evening and welcome back to QCafe. My name is Dinang Kate. I'm your host, and we are so excited here in QCafe to welcome our guest speaker for this week. Excited na din ba kayo? All right, I hope you guys have seen the poster because tonight our guest is no other than who we call the Lady Boss. All right, let's get to know her. Our speaker for tonight is a seasoned entrepreneur, engaged and accredited in retail construction and shop fitter for global brands like Estee Lauder Group, Shiseido Group, Levi's, and other companies. She was able to diversify their services, offering condo, office and home interior design, and renovation. On top of her career, she is one of the highly respected leaders and influencers in the Toastmasters International, a global organization on public speaking and leadership. She served as a district governor representing the Philippines that made the country rank second in the world. So this is in terms of district performance. So was also one of the first international director from the Philippines who served in the international board twice. Currently, she is a part of the trusted leaders serving as a committee member for policy, leadership, and disciplinary committees. Plus, the chair for the ethics committee in the Philippine Toastmasters. She knows how to live work-life balance. Part of her leisure time, she was a champion tennis player, a Nirvana breathing practitioner, an artist by heart who published 3 books, and of course, more to come, a foodie, and a wanderlust. She is an epitome of grace under pressure, who fulfilled her various roles as an obedient daughter, a loving wife, a doting mother, a caring sister, a reliable friend, a service leader, a collaborative team player, a successful business owner, and a motivating mentor. Please welcome the Chief Executive Officer of MC Display and Metal Craft Corporation, the lady boss herself, Miss Christine A. Temblique. Hi, Miss Christine. How are you?
Hello, Kate. Good evening.
Welcome po sa QCafe.
I'm honored to be here tonight with you.
Grabe, reading through all of your experiences and achievements, nakaka-overwhelm po and nakaka-inspire. Definitely an inspiration, especially for most of us here at Muzencore who also strives to be the best version of themselves. So, excited na po kami malaman kung paano po ba kayo naging the lady boss. All right, so take it away, Miss Christine.
Okay. Well, this business was started by my father. We started as Christine Wireworks. That was our original name. And then when I got married, my husband joined me after seeing that I was having a hard time going through the business alone, especially after my father died. So we joined together, we joined our hands together. He resigned from his work and we evolved into something from the usual things that we fabricate. So it used to be Christine Wireworks, and then it evolved into MC Display and Metal Craft Corporation. This particular company now works on shop fitter displays and retail construction, which, as you have described earlier, deals with global brands like makeup, cosmetics, and other lifestyle brands at all. It was because my husband was competent in technical skills, despite the fact that he was neither an architect nor an engineer. But this is how we started. So we have been in the construction business, retail construction business for the past 5-10 years. And then during this pandemic, we evolved, and it was now my two sons who are with me, because my husband passed away in 2015. And so I was alone, and one of my sons, out of 3 sons, my eldest, decided to join me and help me in running the business. When we started, all our children have decided to go on their own, trying to find their own places in the professional and corporate world, because we did not pressure them into joining our business. We ran the business, my husband and I, and then later on, we allowed them to decide on their own if they want to join the business. And luckily, and this is now the 3rd generation of our business, my 2 sons decided to join me in running the business because their father passed away. So now my 2 sons, my eldest, Miklos, and Marcel, are now with me in the business. So this is how it goes. I think this is quite a challenge for me because, having 2 sons in the business is also quite a challenge when you run a family business. But at the very start, I made it clear. When you decide to join me in the business after coming from the corporate world, I set their expectations. So in order to run a professional business, what I did was, if you decide to join me, I will give you your scope of works. And then I will lay out my financial plan for you. And bear in mind that when you are joining a family business, you have to sacrifice your salary compared to what you were getting when you were in the corporate world, because all of them were executives already when they decided to join me. So I said, but the benefits will outweigh those that you get from your previous jobs. So we started like that. I laid out clearly the plans. So we ran everything professionally. I think that's the way to go in the business. So everything will be smooth and run like professionals. We have global clients and we have to come up to a certain standard in order to meet and maintain our accreditation in the global industry of cosmetics and other lifestyle brands. So we have to run the business, though it is not huge, it is like a medium scale business. It has to be run professionally, meeting all the standards of a big business. Because we deal with global clients, regional, we normally confer with regional headquarters and then get approval from global headquarters for all the things that we do in the business. So if you go to the malls, then you will see the stores, and we do all of it from the civil works to all the fixtures and modules inside the store itself. And we have to meet their expectations. And my children know this. So I have to train them little by little in how to go about this and dealing with our global clients. Now, the pandemic, the pandemic is just happening with us, but the 2 years of pandemic has, made them pliable and flexible. My eldest son decided to venture into his art business, artisan furniture, during those time of the pandemic. And we were able to market this, and now it has become one of our line of products. And also because these cosmetic brands have somehow withheld their projects, we ventured into home, condo, interiors, and design. So during the pandemic, we were able to add that to our list of products. And now it has become a regular for us because we are now, aside from the cosmetic products, bringing back their projects, we are now getting also projects for home, condo, clinic, and renovations, and even office renovations. So I think that pandemic has also contributed and benefited us in some way. So my children now, one is in production. Marcel, coming from his stint in Singapore for 7 years, and quite an expert in logistics and production, has become in charge of our production in the 2 factories that we have set up. And Miklos, my eldest, is now in admin and sales because that is his forte. So my 2 sons now are in charge of what they are strong at. But I told them that as a family business, they should be able to deal with everything and be hands-on. Because, we don't have that much people. And, being a family business, you have to somehow dip your hands in every project so that you know that everything is running smoothly despite all the project managers that you have around you. And that is how the clients also get their trust from us. So I told my children that sometimes there are conflicts. You know how it is with their mindset coming from the corporate worlds. And I said they should be flexible and adaptable. But sometimes we have conflicts, disagreements in our way of doing things, in applying the policies, but we deal with it professionally, like professionals. But at the end, of course, I will always say, I shall prevail. Being the mother, the mommy boss, okay? But I listen to them because I know there are some wisdom to what they know. I have a different mindset being a baby boomer, but they also have a different mindset, which are also positively contributory to the business. And I acknowledge them. But we have to resolve our differences at one time or another and deal with it professionally, objectively in the business. So that is our dynamics in the business, in the office, and in the factories. Okay. So I hope you are able to pick up some tips on how to be the lady boss or the mommy boss of your children if you are all in the business.
Alright. Grabe, no, Miss Christine? While listening to your story, iba talaga kung paano talaga yung family dynamics whenever talaga
Yes.
you are in a family-owned company. So we have
Yes.
a few questions here that we would love to ask. First of all, Miss Teen, ilang taon na nga ba ang inyong company? How long has the company been running?
The company has been existing for the past 50 years, but it has
Wow.
evolved into several stages until this time wherein we have been in this retail construction for the past 10 years or so.
I see. And so far, so does this mean na kumbaga kayo po yung first generation, so second generation pa lang right now is yung mga anak nyo?
No, it was my father who started the
okay, so
business.
third na.
Yes, it was Christine Wireworks because we deal with, those dish drainers, Shura, and then, we ventured into promotional displays for companies, and then eventually to retail construction and shop fitter.
So parang having that background of that succession, I would like to arrive with my first question being, we would love to know, what are your family values and how do you think did it contribute to the business success? Because you've mentioned that it came from your father and now it's you, and then now you're passing it on to your children. So is there like, wala naman talagang like we can say na parang secret recipe to success, di ba? But we would love to know from your own family values, what do you think was the parang was a good contribution talaga that was able to make your business into the success that it has right now?
Okay. Well, in our website, we started with this, making this organization a professional one. And so I said, when we started to have a vision of being world-class quality producer of retail displays and shop fitter, I said that the first thing that comes to mind is excellence. So there should be excellence in our company, and that entails quality in all our works, in all our procedures, in everything that we do. So excellence is a must for the business to sustain its existence, because I think that's what has brought up to this year, up to this time, maintaining quality. We sometimes get clients from just word of mouth, because when they see that, sometimes we're constructing in a mall, and then the mall manager will see how we do our stores, then they ask for our company profile, and then we get another brand.
Wow.
So excellence is important. At the same time, hard work, efficiency and hard work are always a must in running your business, and transparency. That's why I always make it a point that we manage all our expectation, because we want to be transparent to the client, to the workers, and to ourselves as well. So integrity, yes, quality, excellence, efficiency, hard work, and transparency.
For NC, ito ang ingredients kung paano ninyo na-build ang inyong business right now. So you mentioned earlier na syempre you took your children into the business and you exposed them into the business. We would love to know, especially for those na meron ding mga family-owned na small businesses. Gusto lang namin malaman, how do you start your children? Para bang how did you integrate it to them? Paano mo sila in-expose sa business? Anong age ba? Paano ba natin as parents, how do we involve our children into a business na we own, na we want them in the future to own as well? How was it for you?
Well, that was a challenge for us when my husband and I were running the business. And you send your children to the school, to good schools, and then of course the first thing that comes to mind is going into a company, into a corporation, and making their way up. And
Yeah.
I like that to happen because I want them to prove themselves. You know, I don't like them to just go into the business, to plunge into the business, being the children of the boss or the bosses, because I want them to earn their own keep.
Yeah.
I believe in them making it by themselves, working hard, and proving themselves to be worth what they are working at. So they all entered into the corporate world. My two sons are with me now, but they came from corporate worlds. They work at HSBC. My other son worked at Maersk shipping line. Well, these are the two who work for me, but the other one works at JP Morgan Chase Bank as an executive, and my only daughter is in the States working also at University of San Francisco.
Wow. So it's really a
Yes.
choice, no? You didn't really force them na, anak ko kayo, kailangan you will manage the business.
No.
Mm-mm.
That's why we waited for them to decide on their own. It was my eldest who decided that I can join the business. I think he probably was, inspired and persuaded when he saw how we were dealing with global clients and the challenge that it entails. So
Yeah.
it attracted them. But it's a different case for my second son because he was offered like to be an expat in Malaysia
Yeah.
while working in Singapore. And then I said, you decide. I will not force you.
Okay.
I know you are offered, and that's a very good opportunity. But if you decide to help me, I will accept you. But it's your decision. I do not impose. And he decided to help. So I think it's how you present yourself. It's how you treat them and show how you work and the kind of work that you're in, the atmosphere, the environment of the business, that you get to somehow indirectly persuade your children to join you and continue the business.
This is really sound advice, you guys, especially for those parents na alam ko na pinaghihirapan ninyo yung business dahil gusto nyong ipamana sa mga anak ninyo. But this is really good advice, hearing from someone who has been in the business for 50 years. You should really allow your children to feel it kung kailan nila iti-take on talaga ang family business.
Yes,
So
that's
having
true.
said this, we would love to know a few tips and tricks naman pagdating po sa what structures do you have in place when you deal with conflicts? Kasi nandyan yung, I would like to paint a picture para may scenario tayo na makarelate din ng ating mga viewers, no? So let's say it's a family business. Syempre, you are the mother. You have your children, so you have authority over your children. And then your children, let's assume that they are in the same positions as directors. Let's say na ganun. Kasi parehas mo silang anak, di ba? Wala namang mas mataas dun sa isa kahit na mas matanda yung isa.
Yes.
So the question being, how do we deal with conflict? Especially kung nandyan yung paano kung may isyong mangyari, paano ba to? Because this is common with family businesses na nagkakaroon ng problema yung magkakapatid. Sino ba talaga ang pakikinggan? Siya ba dahil siya ang panganay? Siya ba ang may final say dahil lang siya yung bunso? Yung mga ganong stuff.
Yes. Well, let me just give you an example, a classic example that actually happened, you know. Recently we had a project, and you know how it is with global clients, all the planning, they start with all the planning, and then you think that they're so prompt, but they get delays, and then all the delays are now given to us to cope with the timetable, the target deadline. So here it is. We have a standard deadline, standard timetable for construction, for off-site and on-site construction. My son in production is adhere to this strictly, strictly
by the book.
By the book. But you know how it is with clients. Sometimes you have to be flexible.
Yes.
And so we have this back and forth, because every drawing, every line has to get the approval of the regional, of the global. So in the event of the here and there, we get delayed because we cannot proceed unless everything is approved, stamped, approved.
Yes.
So here it is. Our 45 days timetable is now reduced to 30 days.
Oh my gosh, crunch time.
See? And so the client approached me, being the eldest of the bosses. Miss Christine, we have to do this. We have to do this within 30 days because the launch has been announced and we cannot back out anymore. This is global and we will get reprimanded if this doesn't happen.
Mm-mm.
Now, my son said, no, because we have to be strict with them or they will always do this to us.
Yes. My point.
Yes, there's a point, right? And
Mm.
that's true. They will always get their way.
Mm-mm.
But I said, this is crunch time. That was during the pandemic.
Mm-mm.
And I said, you know how it is, the times are not normal. So, and I know that we can do this because I've been in the business for so many years.
Yes.
I know the time that they consume to manufacture, fabricate something. And I know this is doable.
Mm-mm.
So we are arguing, debating, and up to the point that we somehow reach us, what do you call that? We're clashing, but then we are now stuck with our own mindset. So that was quite a challenging time. But the good thing, that was between me and production, right? My other son. But the good thing is my eldest is always a mediator.
Yeah.
So he will talk to me, explain to me the side of my other son, and he will also explain my side to the other son.
Mm-mm.
So actually what we did is we sat down, we talked. We might be, raising our voice
Yes.
quite
Mm-mm.
often, but we get the point. We get the point, and I'd like to understand him as well. But I explained that we will do this, and I just made a compromise with him. Let me just prove that we can do this.
Yes.
And this is one time that I will request you to give in to me.
Yes.
See? Because I've been in this business for so many years and I know we can do this.
Mm-mm.
And I will monitor this. At that time, I was leaving for United States.
Mm-mm.
So you know how the pressure, I will monitor it remotely from the US.
Yes.
And they're all here.
Mm-mm.
But I set all the point person so that I can follow up every week, twice a week, and get updates. And so I did.
Yeah.
And we were able to deliver the project with excellence.
All right.
And so I have proven to my son that, sometimes we just have to do what they like, but making it a point that this is not normal.
Mm-mm.
But getting their trust and being able to accede to their strong request will accumulate points for us for the future. That I want him to realize. Yes.
It's actually a very good scenario, no, Miss Christine?
Yes.
Most of the time talaga, as much as we want to go by the book, kasi yun yung company protocol eh. And also at the end of the day, it will keep us in a safe line. It will not be compromised. But judging from experience, I recall my mom always saying na, sanay na ako kung paano ko lalaruin yan. Because of the length of time that you have been in the industry. So, yun nga yung sinasabi natin na kumbaga mas nakakayang lamangan ng experience yung theory, diba?
Yes.
Which is something talaga na at the end of the day will be resolved by good communication. So you mentioned as well earlier kanina, no, Miss Christine, you were mentioning that one of your son was already an executive by the time that you were kumbaga, for a lack of a better term, pinipirata mo siya into the company.
Yes.
And you were encouraging him to join you in the business. He was already in an executive position, no? So, tanungin na natin yung isa sa mga pinaka-thorny questions pagdating sa family businesses.
Sure.
do we deal with clear compensation and equity arrangements? Kasi ito yung isa sa mga questions talaga, no, when it comes to building family business. Paano nga ba talaga nagkakaroon ng hatian? Or how do we deal with compensation within family pagdating sa businesses? Because earlier you said, 'di ba? Hindi ko kayang isahod sa iyo yung yung parang ganun. I mean, I'm just imagining the conversation, but definitely may mga ganoong drama tayo sa umpisa, especially let's say kunwari, your business is starting from a scratch talaga, 'di ba? Like ground up businesses. So definitely hindi lahat ng currency natin doon is money, 'di ba?
Correct.
So we would love to have this with this conversation kasi touchy subject to kasi it can be number one, an emotional subject. Tapos na, 'di ba? Kasi hindi natin alam paano ba mag-establish ng fair wages pagdating sa kasi from family and non-family employees. Kasi let's say for example, no, in family businesses we also hire extended families, 'di ba? Sometimes ganun yung ginagawa natin kasi as Pinoy, we always wanna hit the gusto nating makatulong sa ating kapamilya, no? Kaysa we hire other people, dun muna sa atin. So, yun po yung tanong natin tonight. Ano po ba yung, can you give us like an example o kaya can you guide us through kung paano pwedeng pag-isipan ang pagdating sa compensation and arrangements within family organizations?
Okay. When I took them into the fold of the business, I was very clear that their salary will not be the same as what they are getting in their previous work, right? But I will not give them such a small salary that they cannot subsist or pay for their own gasoline or pay for their own food. Definitely, I'll give them a fair salary, not that level, but enough for them to subsist. But aside from that, I told them, your travels will be free, provided it is reasonable. You will have certain benefits from me when you need certain things, and everything will have to be reasonable. I think I trained them enough to save on their own, even when they were in high school, in college. They even told me when they graduated, Mom, did you realize that you gave us the same amount of allowance from our first year to our fourth year? And I said, yes. And they told me that after they graduated. But I told them, but you were able to survive, right? And you were able to save something. So what's there to prove? You were able to prove yourself. And one of my children, yung pinakamatipid, was even able to save something. Kasi yung pang-weekend nila, sometimes when they run out of money, they run to their dad. But I only give them this so much. But surprisingly, all of them survive on their own. Sometimes they even have to walk if they don't have enough money. But they learned how to cope with what they have. Diba? Sabi mo nga, pag maikli ang banig, mamaluktot. Pag malaki ang banig, you can stretch. Diba? And that's how they were trained. So they're not really particular with money as long as it is reasonable. And I told them you can even save. I have savings for them, and for my other sons and children who are not working, they get also a share because they're part of the company and they do certain things for the company as well. But my two sons in the company are salary based with benefits, because I think that's the best way to deal with them fairly and squarely.
Yes, tama yon. So, mga nanay at mga tatay who are owning businesses and thinking of transferring those businesses to your children, this is actually sound advice. Hindi talaga dapat tayo magpadala sa ating emosyon as parents na we wanna give everything to our children. No, we need to evaluate the lifestyle that our children wants and needs. And then maybe from there, no, we can provide them with a good compensation that has well-defined job description na magiging fair para sa lahat, 'di ba? So
Yes.
this is also fair for non-family employees. Kasi at the end of the day, you're all part of the big organization. So
Yes.
sana these types of conversations that we are starting tonight will also give you that aha moment na you've been wanting to parang understand pagdating sa pagmamanage ng businesses, no? Because
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong, Miss Tin, no? Some of the family businesses owned by Filipinos, para tayong nagsisimula sa isang sari-sari store. Tapos nagugulat na lang na bigla na lang nagiging department store. Kaya
Yes.
yung mga tao nagkakaroon ng bit of bumps kasi nagugulat na lang sila na nag-grow yung businesses nila in such a way na hindi nila in-expect. So these are the types of structures that you need to start forming when you notice that your business is starting to scale. Ayan. So let's arrive to our final question for this evening. We wanna ask, okay, let's see. What is your business succession plan? Should a family-owned business have one? And if so, napag-isipan nyo na po ba ito?
Well, what we talk about now is making the business run as long as possible for every generation. I'm transferring this to my sons as family-owned business, but we are a corporation. So all the family members are part of the corporation. Actually, we have also corollary business, which is technical art design build, which deals with also other aspects like maintenance and usually home repairs. But then succession in terms of the future, now it's my son, right? And I was telling them our goal is to be able to make this family business exist for as long as we can, because there is a future for this business. And they see it. I think we evolve. As long as you evolve and meet the demands of time in terms of products, in terms of diversification, I think you will be able to survive and make the business successful. It's how you professionally manage the business. Everything will be in place, everything will be run professionally, that you will be able to maintain the integrity of the business. Because that's very important for a family business. Bawal yung kanya-kanyang hakot, di ba? Everything should be like a corporation owned by somebody else. So let's deal with this professionally, and that's how we will survive and extend the life of our business for as long as we can, and also learn how to diversify and meet the changing demands of time in terms of your products, in terms of your projects, and everything that you can do for the business.
Grabe, nakakatuwa. Ang ganda-ganda ng conversation natin tonight, Miss Christine. I mean, I'm so inspired. This is coming from a background of a child who is also part of a family business.
Oh, yes. Exciting. This is exciting, di ba?
To be honest kasi talaga, no, there will come a time na parang children then are torn.
Yes, that's
kasi
true.
They will think, will I be my mother? Will I be my father? Or will I be my own person? May mga ganong narratives kasi talaga, especially in a Filipino-owned business, kasi tayo, no, very grabe yung tight-knit talaga na values natin as family. So talaga tayo extended kung extended. Di ba? Sabi nga ni kesera-sera. Whatever.
And I think, Kate, what's very important is the expectations. Because children are different. Your children will be different from you. My children are different from mine. We have different mindsets. But what's important is that you are able to make your different mindsets work as one, unified and productively, positively. So that's very important. That's integral.
Grabe, nakakatuwa. So, Miss Christine, maybe a few more words before we end the show. What would you like to parang remind our viewers? Ayan.
Yes. So I think especially for us Filipinos, we always are very emotional when it comes to family business, especially if we have family members in our business. But it is important, and I see that it is also integral or important to segregate your emotions when you are running a business. So run it objectively. I'm sure it's a challenge to do that. It's not easy, mind you. And I know it for a fact because I have been here experiencing it. But I know that this is doable as long as you're able to relay and communicate with your family members the kind of expectations, the nature of the business, and the vision that you have for your business. So I think communication is still integral in having your objectives, your goals, embraced by everyone in the family business.
Grabe! Thank you so much, Miss Christine. We're so thankful that you're here tonight and you were able to share those grabe, inspiring words from the lady boss. O, diba?
Thank you also for having me tonight here and sharing my ideas and thoughts with you.
Miss Christine, I really believe that experience is really one of the great teachers that we have. Kasi talaga, no, we need to experience things before we can say that we fully learned. Diba? Yes. So maraming salamat po for taking us in your journey and giving us a glimpse of what happened, how you were able to become this lady boss that you are right now, and especially still keeping intact all those values that you have as a family and being able to transfer it to your children and to your employees, diba?
Yes.
So maraming salamat po for that. And yes, you guys, I hope you guys are able to learn. Grabe, ang daming nuggets of information, ang dami talagang pwede nating matutunan na pwede nating i-apply sa sarili nating mga negosyo. At hindi lang to para sa second generation, guys, ha. If you are starting your own businesses, kung ikaw pa lang ang nagsisimula nito at gusto mong ipamana ito sa iyong mga future children or mga apo, di ngayon pa lang na nagsisimula ka, simulan mo na rin ang structure mo. O, diba? Para by that time na magkakaroon ka na rin ng transition, medyo may idea ka na. So that's how you think ahead. So once again, my name is Ninang Kate. Maraming salamat for joining us for another fun night here at QCafe. We'll see you again next week, same time, same place here at Moose & Core. So once again, thank you, Miss Christine, and goodbye,
Thank
everyone.
You also.
Have a great week ahead. Bye.